Hello, for this video, we are going to talk about cheating and plagiarism. I think this is one thing that in an online course, I think a lot of instructors struggle with. And I pulled a couple of articles just to kind of talk about this and to walk through some of the strategies that are available to you that you can work with. One of the first articles I want to talk about is this one on my screen right now. And it kind of pushes a really interesting point. The best ways to stop cheating online is to teach better. I mean, I think that's one of the things I like to kind of discuss as we start thinking about our courses. One thing that you might want to do is think about some of the statistics. They said that in an online course, 62% of the students reported that they're more likely to cheat in an online course. So I think those are some glaring statistics that make you want to think about what are you doing in your courses and how can you change the way that you are normally accustomed to if you are in working from a face-to-face environment. I think the days of, us being all in the same room, students taking a test, that changes a lot online because they're not in the same room anymore. They are on a computer. So can they search for answers? Yes. Can they go in and look things up? Yes. Could they even buy a paper online? Yes. So if they search hard enough, can they find the answers to your test? Yes. So in thinking about that, some of the things that you want to do is really think about just some of your strategies that you're using. So a couple of things that I like to do is work with various tools. One of the tools that I use within Canvas is Turnitin. And all of these links will be right below this video so you can take a look at it. And I love Turnitin because Turnitin gives me a percentage of how much has been copied from other sources. So I set a percentage for my class that's acceptable to me on what should that percentage be of work that's from other places. So if it's a writing piece, I usually say 10% if there's pieces, because your bibliography or your reference list, anything that they're copying from one place to another will cause that percentage to go up. So I look for more things with critical thinking and other things like that that forces them to think differently. So Turnitin is a good way to see where they are pulling information from and how many sources. If it is over 10%, I go in and check. You can also click to look at the different sources that they're pulling information from, and you can see what words exactly were pulled to that area. Another one is Grammarly. So if you don't have Turnitin, Grammarly is another one that you can use that does a plagiarism check, as a plagiarism checker as well. So that's another one you can work with. A couple of things just to think about how you can prevent plagiarism. Like collapse that, get that out of the way within this one, and I'll share this link with you as well, but it talks about some tips that will help in helping students stop cheating. One of the things that I like to think about is looking at critical thinking and inquiry. So if you're having them think critically, if you're having them write certain pieces, then that's going to help cut down the amount that they're able to plagiarize. Another thing that I like to do is I discuss the culture of my class and what happens if you plagiarize. I know for us at ASU, if you plagiarize, you potentially you could fail the course, you could be kicked out of the university. So there are some safeguards in there for students that do plagiarize. So this article, goes on. There are several, things, peer feedback, daily assignments, those type of things help. Also portfolios, toolkits, things that they have to build, but you also want to balance what you have to grade. Some of the stuff that if you ask them to write things, that means you have to read all of that. So you want to balance that. So there's tips in this one that I will share with you. So I'll share this article so you can review it. Another one, this one is 11 ways to prevent cheating. There really is no way to prevent it, but manage access to devices or another, multiple assessment styles. There are some ways that are harder to cheat than others. So varying what you're doing helps tremendously. Switching up seating on test day, but they're not with you, they're virtual. So making different versions of the assessment. Another thing, if you're using Google Forms or if you're using Microsoft Forms, you can shuffle the order. So keep that in mind. Those are simple things that you can do to prevent cheating on your exams. Here's another one that's 14 ways or 14 strategies to kind of think about how do you prevent cheating. And again, that top one is higher order thinking skills, designing questions, varying the question types, talking with students, as well as looking at contracts, which are all the things I talked about. So take a moment to look at the links below, and let's design what your plan will be for preventing cheating and plagiarism in your course. Thank you.